It's about that time. 5 o'clock. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. What a glorious Sunday it is, faithful. I'm happy to be doing a live show. And you know what it is, faithful. This show is about you guys. This show is about the fans, the faithful, the Niner Empire. And I wanted to do a show talking about Jimmy G, of course. Who's going to back up Jimmy G? I also wanted to talk about the NFC West. I mean, the Cardinals are making moves. The Rams have made a big move, obviously, with the upgrading their quarterback situation. And there's a lot going on in the NFC West. But first, make sure you guys leave some comments in the comment section. You definitely know I shout you guys out, and I appreciate you having an opening dialogue with your boy, Jay in the Bay. But first, we got to give a quick shout out to John Lynch. John Lynch is doing an excellent job. He's surrounding this team with talent. And the biggest fish, the biggest player that we signed, of course, was Trent Williams. And I wanted to delve into that contract a little bit. You know, he signed a 6-year, $138 million contract. And people are saying, well, it's 6 years. That's a long time for a player who's 33 years old. He's battled injuries throughout his career, which is correct. But, you know, he is the best player on our offensive line, no doubt. There's no doubt about that. Trent Williams is the best player on our offensive line. And he's protecting Jimmy G's blind side. And, you know, you have to have a stout veteran presence at the left tackle position. And even though it is a 6-year deal, essentially it's a 3-year deal, 20 mil per year. And then after the third year of that deal, Trent Williams and the Niners can't part ways, and it'll only be a small dead cap hit to the 49ers. And I just put up my links. Make sure you guys subscribe to your boy, Jay in the Bay. If you haven't already on YouTube, check me out on IG and Twitter as well. I appreciate it. But Lynch's goal in free agency, I think, was to solidify the offensive line, to make a formidable unit with Jimmy G under center. And we've got Trent Williams at left tackle. We've got Tomlinson at the left guard position, who's solid. And then also we signed Alex Mack. You know, Alex Mack is a veteran center. He played under Kyle Shanahan with the Atlanta Falcons. And it's good to see Mack reunited with Kyle Shanahan. He signed a 3-year deal worth about, I believe it was about $14 million. And there is a potential out in the contract for next year. And the Niners can part ways with Alex Mack if need be, and there'll be a minimal dead cap hit. So I'm eager to see who else Lynch brings into free agency, but he solidified the offensive line, and that was one thing that Lynch and I thought that we definitely needed to do, because that was our main issue last year, was offensive line. Y'all saw it, faithful. You know it. It was that offensive line. You know, at the right guard spot, we got Brunskill, who is solid. He can play center, he can play guard, he can play tackle. And then also, of course, we got McGlinchey at the right tackle position. And, you know, let's face it, McGlinchey struggled a little bit last year, but we'll see what he does this year. And let's say what's up to the sports star. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for watching the stream. I appreciate you. And we've got It's Golden Grizz YouTube production. What's up, Jay in the Bay? What's good, Grizzy? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you guys leaving comments. And speaking of McGlinchey, you know, I believe he's coming into his 5th year of his contract next year. And, you know, I'm excited to see what he can do on the field, but also if he's going to be a 49er for years to come, because I don't know if we'll have the salary cap to sign McGlinchey long term. And you know, I'm eager to see what happens in that area. What's up, Frank? Thanks for tuning in. He says our O-line is going to get better. Yeah, I think so. I'll be surprised if there are any other free agency signings along the offensive line. I'll be surprised by that. I feel like our offensive line right now is stout. It's pretty steady. It's arguably the best offensive line in the NFC West. Hell, you could even say the NFC, with bringing in Alex Mack to solidify that center position. And yeah, looks like the Sports Star says almost at 500. Yeah, your boy's almost at 500 subscribers. It's only the beginning, halfway to 1K. I appreciate all you guys' support. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Thanks for coming in, Frank. And yeah, I like what Lynch has done with the offensive line. And I think if we do get any other offensive line players, I think it'll probably be in the draft. I believe we could draft, McGlinchey's replacement, because I doubt, honestly, Faithful, I doubt if we'll sign McGlinchey long term, because we gave all that money to Trent Williams. So, but we'll see what happens. But in the draft, I expect the Niners to draft, a backup tackle, possibly a backup guard, maybe a guard person who can play the guard position and the center position, and at least a tackle. So I figure at least 2 offensive linemen will be drafted in this year's draft from the 49ers, because we got to add depth. If there's an injury to a certain position, you got to make sure you have a capable person to back up whoever. And it looks like Frank says, I think so. Probably about the offensive line. Yeah, I think we have a pretty stout offensive line. We stack up pretty well in the NFC West. And it looks like the Sports Star says either Watson or rookie. So I'm assuming you're talking about the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, Watson, he is he's the grand prize, right? He's the number one option that I think every 49er fan, dreams of having, that franchise quarterback. Watson is he's in a little bit of trouble. I'm sure you guys heard, but there's no doubt that Watson is talented, and I highly doubt that he will play for the Houston Texans this year, but anything's possible. Looks like Matt says, "What's good? What's good, Matt? Thanks for coming through to the stream." And looks like Frank says, "Well, what about our secondary? That's a good point. Lynch, I believe Lynch solidified at least the corner position. We brought back Emmanuel Mosley, 2-year deal. He was an undrafted player, and he's paid off. And then you bring in Verrett again as well. Verrett has some, injury issues in the past. He had a hell of a year last year. I believe he played every game, or he might have missed one game last year, but we signed him to a team-friendly 1-year deal. I think that's a good option for us at the corner position. I would like to bring back K'Waun Williams, and I hear he does have interviews with the Chiefs and the Jets this week. So we'll see what happens. He wants to try to get the largest contract he can get. There's no surprise there. I do think in the draft, we do have to get a corner. We got to get younger at the position. It's funny I say younger, and for some reason I thought of Richard Sherman because he hasn't signed yet. Would you guys be open to, Richard Sherman coming back? I mean, I don't know, but he's still out there. But I think we definitely need to get younger at corner, specifically in the draft. I anticipate we'll draft a corner at least within the first 2 rounds to get younger at the cornerback position. And then you pair, the corner with Verrett and Mosley. And I figure Mosley and the young corner will compete for that starting job. And then if not, I'm solid with Verrett starting at corner and Mosley. But what helps the corners is a pass rush. That's what helps every defensive player on defense is you got to have a pass rush to get after the quarterback. And yeah, it looks like Frank agrees with me. He wants Williams back too. Yeah, I think we should definitely try to get Williams back. Looks like Matt says, what positions, in your opinion, do you think we should address? Yeah, no, that's a great question. That's definitely something I wanted to address. In free agency, when we look at the moves that Lynch just did, he solidified the offensive line. I think we're good there. I don't think we'll sign any more free agent offensive linemen. I'd be surprised if we do. I still think we need a receiver. Faithful, what y'all think? I think we definitely need a receiver. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments. But are you guys set with the Ayuk show? Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and let's see, Barn is gone. He's gone to New England. So that leaves Richie James. I think Trent Taylor's a free agent. I doubt we'll re-sign him. We got Juwan Jennings and Jalen Hurt. So, I only see two I would say reliable receivers, two receivers who have done it in the NFL. That's Debo and Ayuk. I feel like we do need to get a veteran wide receiver, someone like, let me see. I wrote down a few names. Let's see. Someone like, T.Y. Hilton is on the market. He's a good, established vet wide receiver. He used to play for the Indianapolis Colts. Willie Snead is out there, receiver for he used to play for the Baltimore Ravens. He's a free agent. Golden Tate. Golden Tate, he's a vet. He's a free agent. Last play for the Giants. He could be put possibly in the slot position to pair up with, Ayuk and Debo. That would be interesting. Also, Adam Humphries. He plays slot receiver for the Tennessee Titans. D.D. Westbrook for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those are just a few names. Who do you guys think about the wide receiver position? So that's one position I think we definitely need to address in free agency. I would like to see Lynch bring in a veteran wide receiver, just like he did with Emmanuel Sanders last year when we traded for Emmanuel Sanders. It elevated everyone else on the offense. Jimmy G looked better than ever when Sanders was in the offense. I would say edge rusher, but we signed, Samson Ebukam from the LA Rams, and he was playing outside linebacker with the Rams, but I heard that he's going to actually be playing defensive end for the 49ers. So he's going to be rushing after the quarterback. And I would want another edge rusher besides Ebukam, because I would want Armstead to play inside next to Kinlaw, but it looks like Armstead's going to be playing on that defensive end. But I think he should play both. I think sometimes he should play defensive end, sometimes he should play inside. But we also signed Go DJ. That's my DJ. DJ Jones, and he's going to be playing, obviously, inside next to Kinlaw. So, but I would say, feels me, edge rusher, wide receiver, and we should probably bring in a safety to compete with Marcel Harris. I think that would be good. But I would say, and of course, quarterback. We got to that's the main title of the video. Definitely got to get quarterback for sure to back up Jimmy G. Flacco had a workout with the Niners. He left without a contract. Flacco, he's a veteran quarterback, but he doesn't really do that much to me. I mean, at least he has the experience, right? That's what you want in a backup quarterback. You want someone who has experience. Josh Rosen obviously is our backup. We also have Josh Johnson, but Rosen, he hasn't done much. He kind of flamed out. Well, not really flamed out in Arizona. He only had like 1 year. And then I believe in Miami, he got traded to Miami, and I believe he didn't get the starting position. So he was a backup there. So then he went to Tampa Bay. So he's been, at a lot of destinations, and he just hasn't done much, on the field. So Rosen is interesting, but it's almost like he's a project. You don't know what he does well at this point of his career. He actually needs starts, but there's no way he's better than Jimmy G, at this point. Let's see. 49ers Nation says, what safety do you think we should get? That's a good question. There are a few safeties out there. I believe I heard one. I think his last name was Harmon. Last played for the Patriots. I believe he's a free agent safety. And there are a few other options out there. I think that definitely the 49ers should look at least to bring in, a veteran, someone who could challenge Marcel Harris. Because I don't know if he's ready right now for a starting position. I don't think necessarily any position should just be given to a player. He should have to earn it, especially if he hasn't started already. Derrick Henry says, "What's up? What's good, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream." Looks like Frank Gaspar says, "Well, what about Juju?" I think Juju. I just heard Juju Smith-Schuster. He recently signed back with the Steelers. I heard he took less money to sign back with the Steelers, so Juju Schuster is no longer an option, Frank. Looks like Niners all day 55. What's good, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Okay, so this is his first time in the stream. What do you think about Fields or Zach Wilson, or in general, just trading up or down in the draft? No, great question, Niners all day. Thanks for coming through. I didn't see that much of Zach Wilson in college. I saw Fields in a national championship game, and he looks like a mobile quarterback. He's a big guy. Kind of reminds me of Cam Newton, but just because players are good in college doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to translate to the NFL. But all the reports I hear about Zach Wilson are that he's pretty good. He could be the second best quarterback in the draft behind Trevor Lawrence. And you mentioned about trading up or down in the draft. Lynch has shown that he's willing to trade down to get more picks. He did that, I believe, in the first draft we had when we traded back with Chicago to get Solomon Thomas. That didn't work out. Good luck to Solomon, though. He's with the Las Vegas Raiders. Hope all success for him in the Sin City. Also, we traded back in the draft in that first round, I believe, to get Reuben Foster. That didn't work out. When you look at that 2017 draft, a lot of picks he had, it didn't really pan out. I believe the only one that panned out, I think, was Kittle. I think Kittle was drafted in 2017, I believe. So that panned out. But I think we should stand pat. I think we should stand pat at pick 13, and we draft the best corner available. Whether that's I saw mock drafts that J.C. Horn is projected to be a top 10 pick, so he may not be available, but all the reports show that he's, one of the best cornerback prospects coming out of the draft. And I think we got to get younger at corner. What y'all think, Niners all day? What you think? What do you think our first position in the draft should be? I think we got to get corner. A few weeks ago, I was saying either corner or offensive lineman, but I think we solidified that. I mean, we could get more depth at that right guard spot behind Brunskill, or even a right tackle behind McGlinchey. But I think we can get that depth later in the draft. Looks like Frank says, yeah, T.Y. Hilton is good. Yeah, T.Y. is good. He's battled injuries throughout his career, but he's definitely been a productive receiver with the Colts. And if you have, Debo, Ayuk, and T.Y. Hilton, I think that's a good, good 3 wide receiver group. And then you add in Kittle and Dwelly, and I'm curious to see if Lynch will bring back, I should say, Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed, when he was healthy, he played pretty well, and I want to see Jordan Reed and Kittle for a full 16-game season. And but I'm excited to see who else Lynch brings in. And the Sports Star says, yeah, Juju is gone. Yeah, he went back with the Steelers. Damian Lee says, see more of Richie James. Yeah, I mean, Richie, he had that great game. I believe it was like one game against the Packers when I think it was like Richie James starting. You had River Craycraft starting as well. That was when we had a lot of injuries. And, I just feel like I would want Richie to be my 4th receiver. I'd want to get a vet receiver similar to like Emmanuel Sanders to start besides, Debo and Ayuk. That's what I would want. But Richie James is solid. And you can't forget about Jalen Hurd and Jennings. But only thing with them is they can't stay on the field, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like the best availability, the best ability is availability. And unfortunately, they haven't been available. They've been battling injuries. So it's almost like you can't really depend on those guys to be like the cake. You want them to be like the icing on the cake, not the actual cake, because, they can't stay healthy, baby. Let's see. The Sports Star says y'all have a solid D-line. Yeah, I think so. With, on the edge, you got Bosa. He's coming back from the ACL. And then you got, Ibukum / Ford / Armstead. We'll see what Ford brings. And then up the middle, you got DJ Jones, Kinlaw. And I imagine Armstead will play inside as well. And I believe Kevin Givens is back with the team as well this year. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I believe Kevin Givens is also re-signed with us as well. Yeah, I feel you, Damian Lee. That's what I was thinking too. Ryan Kerrigan for a backup edge rusher, I like that. Ryan Kerrigan is a beast. He's easily one of the best pass rushers of the last decade with the Washington football team. When he was there, they didn't have much playoff success, but he always flashed on the screen. He's always he's a potential Hall of Famer. Kerrigan, I like, for the edge rushers, I like Ryan Kerrigan. I like Justin Houston. I believe Carlos Dunlap. And we still got Carrie Hyder. Carrie Hyder is a free agent. I'm surprised he hasn't been signed yet. You know, he had a career year. Carrie Hyder did. And, you know, he may be looking for a multi-year contract, and that could be why he hasn't re-signed with the Niners. I don't know if we should re-sign Kerry Hyder to a multi-year contract. He had a breakout season similar to Verrett, and, you know, we re-signed Verrett to a one-year deal. I think we should do the same with Hyder, give him a one-year deal, and I think that would give us depth at the defensive end position. But I also do like, if we can't bring in Hyder, I like Kerrigan for sure. And also like Justin Houston. Justin Houston, you know, he had a great career with the Kansas City Chiefs. The last 2 seasons he's been with the Colts, and he played every game the last 2 seasons. And also, I believe he had about 19 sacks in total the last 2 seasons. So he can still get after the quarterback. Looks like Niners Nation. Do you think we're going to get Alex Smith as a backup? You know, that is a possibility, because the backup QB options are looking scarce. You know, I was thinking of we could get, you know, Andy Dalton, but he signed with the Bears. I was also thinking maybe Jacoby Brissett. I believe he's still out there. I don't think he's a free agent, though. I think he's still signed with the Colts. I was thinking of Tyrod Taylor. He signed with the Houston Texans. There's still, I know there's AJ McCarron, but, you know, there's Joe Flacco. There's a possibility we could still sign him, but we'll see. I mean, I was thinking, what do you guys think? I think we should look at, what's his name? The guy from the New York Jets. For some reason, his name's escaping me. What's his name? Darnold, Sam Darnold. I don't know why his name was escaping me, but Sam Darnold for the Jets. You know, the Jets probably will select a quarterback in this year's draft, so that could leave Sam Darnold expendable. And I think that's definitely an option we should explore, especially if the Jets are only going to, you know, if they only demand a second or third round pick, the 49ers definitely need to think about it. But Alex Smith, but I want Alex Smith. I mean, he's a veteran. He's done it before. He won't necessarily lose you a game, but I guess how healthy is he? I think my only concern about Smith as a backup quarterback is his health, because, you know, everyone knows Smith's story, and, you know, the leg issues, you know, reappeared last year with the Washington team, and he was hurt at the end of the year. So for me, Alex Smith is just about his health. You know, I still think he can play, you know, at this stage of his career. So I mean, Alex Smith wouldn't be bad. It's just about his health. That's the only thing for me. Yeah, it looks like Frank says, yeah, that's right. He's gone. He's probably talking about Juju. Let's see. Matt Navarro says safety Hufanga from USC looks pretty good. Yeah, I haven't seen any tape on him. Yeah, I wonder if he'll be like a first round pick, second round pick. But I would be, I mean, yeah, I would be a little surprised if the Niners draft a safety. I mean, we are young at safety, at least, you know, with Marcel Harris. I think we should definitely get a veteran in that spot. Looks like Niners All Day says he's a monster. All right. And Frank says, yeah, I think we need a corner for our first round pick. Yeah, I agree. We definitely need a corner to add, you know, to the veteran mix of Mosley and Verrett. And I think the best corner available, I think that's who we should get at 13. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, because Lynch has shown that he will trade down in the draft. So I wouldn't be surprised if he trades down to get multiple picks. But we already have, like 9-10 picks already. So I'm eager to see. I can't wait for the draft. We're about a month away from the draft. So I'm excited. I'm geeked up to see who we draft, who else we bring into the squad. Let's see. Niners All Day says, I think our secondary is getting better and it's solid, but if we can keep adding, that would be nice. No, I agree. It's solid. And what helps a great secondary is the pass rush. And if Bosa could come back healthy, you know, wrecking havoc like he did in his rookie season, I think it'll make everyone else's job easier. And also, you know, Ken Law is going to have, you know, his second year in the NFL. And I'm excited to see what he can do. DJ Jones will come back motivated. Kevin Givens. You got Armstead. You know, he had I would say a subpar year last year, especially with the contract he's getting paid. So he should be coming back with a vengeance. Armstead, you know, trying to prove he is worth that contract. And then, you know, we still got D Ford. Who knows? The status of D Ford, if he'll even be if he'll even be ready for the start of the season. What's good? What's good, Tommy, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Glad you could be on. Harden 54 says it is at Damian Lee with the Golden State Warriors. He is. Damian Lee does play for the Golden State Warriors, but I think there's another YouTuber also with the same name. What a coincidence. Looks like Sports Boy says, hello. What's good, man? Thanks for coming into the stream. Looks like Frank says, which quarterback you like in the draft? To be totally honest, I think all the quarterbacks, they are pretty solid. Trevor Lawrence, I don't see how you could really say that Trevor Lawrence is better than Fields. I guess because Lawrence he started for I believe at least 2 straight years with Clemson, and Fields, this is his first year starting. So I guess he's the best prospect. I've heard a lot about, Trey Lance. I've heard a lot about Fields, but just because you're good in college doesn't necessarily mean it translates to the NFL. I believe it's all about the coaching and what team you get drafted to. But honestly, I think the quarterback is the least of the worries as far as drafting for the 49ers. I would be surprised if we took a quarterback in the first 2 rounds of the draft. That would be surprising to me. But I believe in Lynch and Shanahan because before them, there were definitely some dark days in the red and gold. And if they feel like, hey, we want to get a quarterback, we want to get Trey Lance, I'm down with it. As long as, he can develop a quarterback because, Shanahan, this is the same coach who passed over Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. And this is also the same coach that, really likes Kirk Cousins and really likes C.J. Beathard. But, that draft pick of C.J. Beathard didn't really pan out. Nick Mullins didn't pan out. But we'll see what happens in the draft. Looks like Tommy says, I think we are trading up for a quarterback, but I could be wrong. That's a possibility. Now, what's interesting, Tommy, is if we trade up for a quarterback, will we still keep Jimmy G? I think if we do trade up for a quarterback, I think we still should keep Jimmy G. I just don't. It's pretty rare to draft a rookie in the first round of the draft and to start them, from day one and expect the team to be successful. Obviously Justin Herbert, he had a hell of a year last year, but those stories, I don't think that's necessarily the norm of the NFL. I know, time flies by and teams have high expectations from day one. I feel like a rookie quarterback will start if a team is like rebuilding. But for the Niners, we're not a rebuilding team. I feel like we're still a contender, and the Niners are making moves that suggest that. Re-signing Trent, re-signing Alex Mack. So we're making moves that we're still a contender. We're only like a few players away from contending in the NFC West and the NFL as a whole. So I feel like for a contending team, you normally don't see a rookie quarterback, fresh out of college, start and be successful. That's pretty rare. Usually that happens for teams, like, for instance, Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. No one's expecting the Cincinnati Bengals to contend. That's why they said, hey, okay, we'll throw Joe Burrow into the fire. You get your lumps, and he looked pretty good. But for contending team, I feel like we should stick with Jimmy G. Now, I wouldn't be mad if, the Niners trade up, get a quarterback, and that quarterback learns from Jimmy G. I'd be okay with that. But I feel like our best need or our most biggest pressing need is corner. But I'd be surprised if we trade up. But that would be interesting because there are a lot of teams in the top 10 that are going to be looking for a quarterback. Yeah, let's see what you got. Jacksonville, the Jets might be looking for a quarterback, the Atlanta Falcons. So there are a lot of teams that are probably going to be getting a quarterback. So I wonder how far we could even trade up. We'll see. Looks like Brandon DeKeem. What's good, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. 49ers will have a winning season because I trust Jimmy G. Hey, I feel you. It takes a team to be successful. It's not just one player. I think the last Super Bowl kind of proved that between the Bucs and Chiefs. Obviously, Chiefs with Pat Mahomes, he is the better quarterback for the next 10 years compared to Tom Brady today. But you saw when when the Chiefs offensive line was missing their 2 tackles, Pat Mahomes was running all over the place, and the Chiefs defense couldn't really get stops. It takes a team to win. And, we have to surround Jimmy G with talent. I believe we did that on the offensive line. We did that. I still think we should get, a tight end and a receiver. And I think where the offense is good. Tight end receiver who will start. Tight end obviously start besides Kittle, and a receiver to start. And then we get depth on that interior offensive line and also behind McGlinchey. I think the offense will be set. On defense, I think we need to add a pass rusher besides Bucum, and obviously a corner, and then maybe a safety. And I think the team will pretty much be set. Looks like I need to catch up on these comments. I appreciate all y'all coming through to the stream. Make sure you subscribe to your boy, Jay intheBay. I'm on YouTube, IG, Twitter. Make sure you check me out. Looks like 49 Nation says, will Malcolm Butler be a good fit on the Niners, or should we draft Pat Surtain at number 12 if he's available? Also, do you think we can draft Fred Warner's brother, Troy, in the later rounds? Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, Troy Warner is going to be in the NFL draft this year. I think that would be a good move if we drafted Troy Warner. He's got the bloodline. The NFL is in his bloodlines, and he should be just as good as his brother. I don't see why not. Malcolm Butler, Malcolm Butler, he's okay. I feel like in Tennessee, he was solid. He wasn't great. I guess it depends on the money with Butler. If we signed him, he would probably play opposite of Verrett, and I guess we would move Mosley inside, which would be interesting because Mosley usually played, that outside corner spot. And, I think we should definitely get Pat Surtain at that corner for the cornerback position at the number 12 if he's available, or the best corner, which that could be J.C. Horn, but I hear he may go in the top 10. What's good, Raider 4? Thanks for coming through. Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I appreciate you coming through, man. Let's see. Is linebacker Amari Gaynor any good? I'm not sure. Haven't seen any tape on him, so I'm not going to lie to say, hey, I seen a lot of tape on him. I'm not sure about Amari Gaynor. I'm not sure. Let's see. Redder says 49ers, if they get quarterback and maybe cornerback, will be great. Yeah, definitely got to get depth at the corner spot. And also need a backup quarterback to back up Jimmy G, because I don't want to go into the season. I don't know how you guys feel, Faithful, but Josh Rosen as the backup quarterback, I'm not 100% thrilled about that because he's unproven. And for a backup, you need someone who's proven that can step in and don't lose a game for you. So JA Sports says, hi, what's good, JH? Thanks for coming through, JH Sports. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Looks like Tommy says, I'm not impressed with Surtain. I'd rather go Farley or Horn. Yeah, Farley or Horn, they're pretty good. I believe Horn is, the best prospect. That's what I've heard at the cornerback spot. And Farley would be a good option as well. So I wonder if Farley or Horn are gone in the top 10, will the Niners get Surtain? I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. They might trade back in that scenario if they don't really believe in Surtain. So looks like Redder says Surtain is a beast. So I guess it depends on the film. Whatever the film shows, if Surtain, was a beast in college. Now he's definitely got the pedigree. His dad is, Patrick Surtain Sr. He played cornerback, for the Miami Dolphins, and he was pretty good in the NFL. So looks like Tommy says possibly go Trask in the second. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, unfortunately, with Shanahan's track record with drafting quarterbacks, he drafted Beathard, and did we draft Mullins, or was he a free agent? I think Mullins was a free agent, but I don't know. Shanahan, great play caller, great play designer, but he's got he likes Kirk Cousins, he's solid, not great, not bad, and he hasn't really developed Beathard or Mullins, and I think we should stay away from the quarterbacks in the high rounds, I think. But it'd be interesting to see if Shanahan can develop a quarterback. I mean, I guess you could say he developed Jimmy G. You know, Jimmy G has played well when healthy. So looks like Redder says Trask is going 3rd round. Yeah, we'll see. You'll see, because I've heard a lot about Trask. I have a feeling he'll go in the 2nd, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he went in the 2nd. Niners all day 55. I think if we do trade up for a quarterback, we would keep Jimmy for one more year to see if he does well. And if he doesn't, we cut or trade him and give some of the money to Warner so we can keep him if possible. Yeah, we definitely need to re-sign Fred Warner, the best middle linebacker in the NFL. And I think we'll definitely keep Jimmy for the rest of this year. The only way I see we get rid of Jimmy is if we're able to get Deshaun Watson. But if we can't get Deshaun, then I think we'll definitely stick with Jimmy G. But I also wanted to talk about that good old NFC West. Man, this NFC West is tough. You know, the Cardinals, they re-signed, they signed, AJ Green. And I know AJ Green's probably not in his prime anymore, but he's still a good receiver. And then you pair him up with DeAndre Hopkins. That's going to be an interesting mix of talent at the wide receiver position. And they got J.J. Watt. The NFC West is going to be tough. Also with the Rams, of course, they upgraded with quarterback at Matthew Stafford. Now, Matthew Stafford, he hasn't had a lot of playoff success, but he's been, he's pretty good. He obviously, we know he can throw the ball. He's thrown for, a lot of yards in his career, but he hasn't had the playoff success. He hasn't really had the team around him, and he'll definitely have a better team with the Rams. That's for sure. So the NFC West is going to be tough. We're going to be beating up on each other all year, and I can't wait for it, baby. Looks like Redder 4 says, I don't know about Jimmy G. What don't you know, baby? When Jimmy G was healthy, where did we go? Went to the Super Bowl. Nah, he didn't, throw 50 touchdowns that year. No, he didn't put us on his back, Now, in those 2 games against Arizona and that 1 game against New Orleans, he won that game in a shootout against, future Hall of Famer Drew Brees. And what I'm concerned about Jimmy G is faithful, Niner Empire. Y'all know it. It's his health. He hasn't been healthy, but I think the reason the Niners stick with Jimmy is because when he was healthy, he guided us to the Super Bowl. Look up Shanahan's record without Jimmy G on the Niners, and it's pretty pathetic. It's putrid. So Jimmy G's high got us to the Super Bowl, and then when he wasn't there, the season's pretty much been over. So I think that's why we stick with Jimmy G. Steven, hey, what's good, man? I watched this guy, Steven Crocio. Hopefully I said your last name right. I watch you all the time on YouTube. You're a big Titans fan, and I appreciate all your NFL updates. And because I watch you make videos, multiple times a day, and I'm always eager to see what updates you have. So appreciate you and your channel, and you growing. You got more than 200 subscribers. I remember when I first saw your channel, I think you were like under 25, so your channel was blowing up. But let's see. Steven says, I heard 49ers could be in the running to trade for Sam Darnold. Yeah, I think that could be an option to get Darnold. He's still on a rookie contract. The Jets may only require, 2nd or 3rd round pick for Darnold. That could be an option, or we could draft a quarterback. But I would be down with bringing in Darnold to see what he can do behind Jimmy G. Looks like Redder says, I think they should draft a quarterback at pick 12. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but that's just not our biggest need right now. I think our biggest need, but also you don't believe in Jimmy G, so that's why too. But our biggest need is, I feel like is get younger at corner, and we do need a wide receiver, but I don't think we should draft one in the early rounds. We should probably get a vet wide receiver in good old free agency. 49ers Nation. Uh-oh. I think we should trade Jimmy G. Trade him to who? Who should we trade Jimmy G to, 49ers Nation? Let me know. I know the Patriots were rumored to be interested in Jimmy G, but they got Cam Newton. Now, that's funny because I wanted Cam Newton to come to the Niners, but that's good for him that he got, he still has a starting job with the Patriots so far, unless they trade for, another quarterback. And they actually surrounded Cam with talent, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, Cam had no talent. You know, he had no one to throw to, no running game. Now he's got two good weapons. I think he got what they got. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, two good tight ends, and that'll definitely help Cam out. Now, as long as they get a running game, I think they'll be even better as well. And also, the Patriots are getting players back who who opted out of the season due to COVID reasons. They're getting some of those players back, and also they added talent along the defense and free agency with Judon. They signed Judon, the outside linebacker from Baltimore. So, Patriots, they definitely will be much improved. That's for sure. So, it's like Tommy says, Surtain gets beat on the deep pass. He isn't fast. If you want a physical corner, you go Horn. Yeah, we definitely want a physical corner. If we could get someone that's similar to Sherman, play on the outside, who's physical, he's heady, that would be the best for the Niners. Get someone that's physical. Mac Jones would be available. Yeah, I heard about him. I heard he could go in the first round. Looks like Redder says he's a South Carolina fan. Looks like Matt says apparently the 49ers are not interested in Sam Darnold. Okay. I hear you. If that's the case, looks like Niners all day. I don't like Mack. I don't think he will be good without that talent around him. We have talent, but those players look like Smith and Harris and make him look good. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, what Alabama quarterback has actually, been a good NFL quarterback? The Tua, he hasn't proven it yet. Jalen Smith in Philly, Jalen Hurts in Philly hasn't proved it yet. So there haven't been a lot of Alabama quarterbacks that have succeeded in the NFL. I know every quarterback is different, but there's a reason, right? It's like Tommy says, Niners all day, I'm with you. Not high on Mac. Dad, Bob Jones. Wow. Tell me how you really feel, Tommy. It's like Frank says, Jay, Rosen didn't impress me that much. Yeah, I mean, he was with Arizona. I mean, I'm not expecting much from a rookie quarterback, but when you're in Arizona, you didn't really stand out. He'll be on his fourth team now that he's with the Niners. So, there's a reason why all these teams keep passing up on you, right? Let's see. Looks like Steven says, obviously someone doesn't trust NFL rumors. Well, they are rumor. Who knows if it's true or false? Looks like Redder says Mullins was undrafted. Okay, so Mullins was undrafted. Frank says, uh-oh, you bringing up Cap. What about bringing Cap back? So I love Cap. I love what he did for the Niners. But in life and anything you do, you usually don't get better if you don't do it. If you don't do something, if you don't work on your craft every day, then you're getting worse by the day. And unfortunately, Kaepernick hasn't played in like 5 years. So can you really expect Cap to come in and be better than I don't know. Is he better than Rosen? Is he better than Josh Johnson? Is he better than Joe Flacco? I mean, we're basing it on what he did 5 years ago. That's kind of unfair to Cap and it's unfair to the other players. But we could bring Cap in for a workout. Yeah, I'm down with that. Bring him in for a workout, I'm definitely cool with that. Mr. Business Suits, what's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Appreciate the video you did today. Mr. Business Suits. Almost at that 500 subscribers, halfway to 1K. Appreciate you uploading that video. It's like Ruffles 2K says, yes on Cap. Bring him in for a workout. That's what I would say. Looks like Tommy says, Steelers need a run game. My team in the AFC is Pitt, but Niners all day before that. Yeah, the Steelers, James Conner, great story. He fought cancer and beat it, but it seems like ever since Le'Veon Bell left, they don't really have a running game to rely on in the Steel City. So let's see, Sports Boys, do you think the Seahawks will regress with all the Wilson drama? No, I don't think so. I think, Wilson spoke out. If he doesn't get traded, then I would say that they're going to work out their issues that they had. Wilson, he wants more say in play calling, which he should have more say. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, easily top 3. He should have more say in the offense. Now, personnel, Nah, because that's not what he does best. What he does best is on the field. So he should help the offensive coordinator, design play calls. He should be able to call his own play. He's a veteran. He's not a rookie. So Seahawks, just show that man more respect. But as a Niner fan, if y'all trade him, I can't be mad at that. That would be the dumb decision, but I can't be mad at that if y'all trade him. Looks like Splash Out says, Jay, what's good, Splash Out? Thanks for coming through. And he says, what do you think about the NFC North and the Vikings? Vikings are good. They got talent. They got a great receiver in Justin Jefferson. Hell of a receiver. Good thing you guys got rid of Stephon Diggs and you got the running game. I guess it's up to Kirk. What can Captain Kirk do? I mean, he seems to be the reason why the team hasn't really reached its full potential. The defense last year, was bad, but usually they've been pretty good under. Forgot the head coach's name, but his signature is defense, and usually you can count on the Vikings defense to be pretty well, but they weren't that good last year. Looks like Frank says, I can't wait either. All righty. Looks like Splash Out says, do you think that Richard Sherman is going to come back? I'd be surprised. I'm honestly surprised Richard Sherman hasn't been signed already. He's still good, but he's, he battled, injuries last year. And I'm surprised there isn't, a bigger market for him. He could play corner or he maybe even transition to the safety position. But I don't think Richard Sherman's going to come back to the Niners. I'd be surprised. Looks like Redder says he wants his Steelers to draft Najee. Yeah, he looks pretty promising out of Bama. He's an excellent running back. Looks like 49ers Nation says, I was thinking that we should trade Jimmy back to the Patriots before they re-sign Cam, but I don't know if anyone else, would want Jimmy. We're good with Jimmy. I think we should definitely stick with Jimmy. I think we are at our best with Jimmy. I just don't see any other quarterback that's on the market right now that's better than Jimmy. I mean, of course, besides Deshaun, but Deshaun's in, legal trouble, obviously innocent, before proven guilty. But unfortunately, the reputation is kind of stained right now. But we'll see what happens. Looks like Matt says there's an outside linebacker, Milo Eifler from Illinois, a big, clean hitter, fast, and what I've heard, he's been studying Pat Willis. Wow. Now, that'd be a great addition to the Niners. Not really a position of need, though. Right now, the outside linebacker, we got Greenlaw. We got E. Buckham, who can play outside linebacker. He played outside linebacker with the Rams, but looks like he's going to be playing DN. I envision I wouldn't be surprised if he played both. He could, certain defensive packages, E. Buckham could play outside linebacker, and then certain packages, he could also play defensive end. Looks like Ruben. Thanks for coming through, Ruben. Niners Empire, let's go. It's like Niners all day. Do you think we wait for a quarterback next year? If you're talking about the draft, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a quarterback in this year's draft, but hopefully not in the higher rounds, like not through the first 3 rounds. Hopefully not, because I feel like that's just not a big position of need for us right now. I think we need to continue to surround Jimmy G with talent. And but you never know. Let's see, Lynch, he's only drafted what? 1 quarterback? And that was Beathard. So there's not really much precedent of him drafting a quarterback. So we'll see. Let's see. Looks like Niners all day. Rams just signed Desean Jackson. What position does he play? That name doesn't ring a bell. But yeah, man, NFC West is just full of talent. You got Stafford, you got Murray, you got Wilson, and of course you got Jimmy G. There's talent all over the field in the NFC West, and I'm intrigued. I really am, because I feel like, obviously, I'm going to say my Niners are the best team in the NFC West, but it's really wide open. There really is no weak team in our division. I mean, I feel like any team in our division could win the division. I feel like every team presents a problem. And I'm excited. I can't wait, because I thought last year, every team was pretty much beating up on each other. But Yeah, I can't wait. It's just going to be an all-out battle. It's like Tommy says, with the O-line beefing up and hiring a real quarterback coach, Jimmy G has no more excuses. I agree, Tommy. Jimmy's got 2 years left on his deal. No more guaranteed money. So if we cut ties with Jimmy, it'd only be a 2.5 million cap hit. But no excuses. No more excuses, Jimmy G. If he gets hurt and he misses the same amount of games he won last year, then yeah, Jimmy's gone. I don't think you could bring him back. And I feel like the only reason we are bringing him back is because his high was, when he was healthy, got us to the Super Bowl. He was an integral part in getting us to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, that's the reason why I say we stick with Jimmy G. But, yeah, there's no excuses. We got the O-line. We got Mostert. We got Jeff Wilson Jr. That should be a good 1-2 punch. I also envision Lynch drafting a running back also in the later rounds of the draft as well. I think that would be a good option the Niners should take, getting another running back, adding to that depth, because the injury bug obviously hit us last year, and we can't let that happen again. So no more excuses, Jimmy G. Let's see. Looks like Ruben says we just need a mobile quarterback to put the pressure on Jimmy G. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I don't know if Shanahan values a mobile quarterback. Mullins isn't really mobile. Beathard isn't mobile. Now, I guess there's two different types of mobiles. There's like the Michael Vick, which is like the high end, mobile quarterback. And then there's other quarterbacks that can, they can move their shoulders. They can get out the pocket. But I don't know if he necessarily values that. He hasn't drafted a mobile quarterback ever. He had RG3 in Washington when he was the offensive coordinator there. And I think it was only for 1 year, and RG3 took off. But then the next year, RG3 came back too early, had that ACL injury, and, fortunately his career was never the same. But I don't know if Shanahan values a mobile quarterback, because Marcus Mariota, he's considered a mobile quarterback. He's with the Las Vegas Raiders. The Niners could potentially trade for Marcus Mariota. But I don't know if Shanahan values that, because he hasn't really made moves in the past that, really suggest that. Let's see. Matt says I would just wait for Arch Manning. So Arch Manning is what? He's still in high school? That's funny. That's like Tommy says, they already signed Cam. Yeah, the Patriots did. Redder says, yeah, the 49ers need a cornerback. Yeah, we definitely need to get a cornerback in the draft. Farley or Horn, those are definitely the best options, I believe. That's what I've heard. Trash Talk Sports. What up, Jay? What's good, Trash Talk Sports? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Let's see. Niners all day. Would you be upset if we did trade up for Fields or Wilson? Man. I mean, I just feel like that's not our biggest need, It's like, I just feel like I don't feel like that quarterback, if we draft in the first round, if we take Fields or Wilson, they're not going to contribute to the team in the first year. They're not going to be better than Jimmy G year one coming out of college. I just don't see it. And we are a contending team. We're not a rebuilding team. We're not like the Cincinnati Bengals or the Jacksonville Jaguars. If that was the case, then yeah, trade up if need be, get you a rookie quarterback, have him start, day one. But I don't know. Niners all day. How do you feel? Do you think we should get a quarterback, Fields or Wilson? Let me know. I wouldn't be upset. I just feel like they can't contribute year one. And our Super Bowl window is still open with Jimmy G as a starting quarterback. That's what I really believe. And that quarterback won't be able to contribute really to the team's success. Trash Talk Sports. The NFC West is the best division in football. You know it. It's talent galore. The Cardinals upgraded. They got Rodney Hudson at center from the Raiders. Raiders, why you trade him to the NFC West? Just trade him to any other team. Why you got to trade him to the NFC West team? Come on, Raiders, what you doing? But, the Cardinals got Rodney Hudson, I believe. The Seahawks even got Gabe Jackson. Raiders, what are you doing? Why do you keep trading your good talent to the NFC West? What you doing, baby? Come on, Gruden. Help a brother out. Let's see. 49ers Nation, should we take a chance on Earl Thomas if the off the field stuff is clear? Yeah, he's dealt with some definitely off the field issues, troubling issues, I might add. And the Ravens cut him, and it seems like hopefully Earl Thomas has hit rock bottom. And if he comes in humbled, how much does he have left? He's still a good player. In Baltimore, clearly, he wasn't the same player that he was in Seattle. So I would say let's bring him in for a workout, see where his head is at, and then go from there. That's what I would say, 49ers Nation. Bring him in for a workout. Let's see where his head is at. Oh, Desean Jackson. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, when you spelled his name, I think it's spelled Desean. But anyway, yeah, Desean Jackson is a former Eagles wide receiver. Yeah. Desean is good. He's got the Jets. Boy can straight up fly, but he can't stay healthy. That's the thing with Desean. He's battled injuries throughout his career. He can definitely take the top off the defense. He can definitely stretch the field. That's definitely what you want, but he can't stay healthy. He will get signed to a team though, because he can still kind of do it all. He can still stretch the defense, but he just can't stay healthy. And I don't think we've already been bit by the injury bug, and Lynch has signed players that have been injury prone, and we can't really have that as an excuse next season. So I would pass on Desean Jackson, because we could easily draft a receiver in the draft, to do that. But we got Trent Sherfield from the Arizona Cardinals, and he looks like he'll be contributing on special teams. So hopefully he'll add some juice to that punt return position, because I don't know about y'all, but Jerick McKinnon wasn't cutting it. He had no burst, he had no wiggle, he was getting hit, and Jerick McKinnon wasn't cutting. So we definitely need to upgrade that kick return spot. It's like Frank says, we should resign Goodwin instead of releasing him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the Niners released him. Obviously, he wasn't in our plans, but Goodwin could fly. He had trouble hands, but yeah, I'm not sure why the Niners don't see him as an asset. I mean, we did trade him, obviously, but yeah, I mean, Goodwin. I believe he stayed relatively healthy. I think the last year with the Niners, he battled injuries. But I believe before that, he was relatively healthy, and he still had the Jets. So, but obviously he wasn't in the Niners' plans. Looks like Matt says no, not Earl Thomas. Yeah, I mean, I would bring him in for a workout, see where his head is at, because he can't demand top dollar. He's no longer an elite safety. So. Looks like Matt says, yep, they released Goodwin. Let's see. Looks like Mr. Business Suits. What is your number one favorite Niners moment in NFL history? Well, my earliest memory is probably – actually, I got two. So this is a great question, Suits. The first memory, and one of my favorites, is the catch 2 with T.O., and he caught that ball in the end zone against the Packers. He took a big hit, and he was all crying on the field. But yeah, that's one of my favorite memories, Terrell Owens, because he was also one of my favorite 49ers of all time, T.O. And the second one was the greatest play in NFL history. I know y'all talking about, Jay, what are you talking about, man? What's the greatest play in NFL history? What you talking about? The pick at the stick, duh. With Navarro Bowman, in the last game at Candlestick, where we were playing against them good old ATL Falcons. And Navarro Bowman picked the ball off at the goal line, and he ran it all the way back to the end zone. And, yeah, that was a hell of a play, especially being the last game at the stick. So those are my two favorite memories. Pick at the stick and the catch 2. Good question. Looks like Mark Jackson says, what's good, chat? What's good, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Looks like we got Big Low Country Sports. What's good, man? Thanks for coming through. Big ATL Falcons fan. I can't wait till we play you guys this year. We definitely got to do some shows together. Make sure y'all check out Big Low Country Sports. Very entertaining, funny. Check him out. Big Low Country Sports on YouTube. Looks like Niners all day says, honestly, whatever Lynch and Kyle feel that Fields or Wilson, if they're the franchise, they should do it and stick to their gut. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I don't think we'll be able to get Fields or Wilson because I think they'll probably be drafted in the top 5 because you figure, you got Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, who is expected to be drafted number 1 by the Jags. Number 2, who has the number 2 pick? I'd have to look it up, but I know for sure that the Jets are right behind there at 2 or 3, and they're rumored to either get Wilson and then also I think it's the Jags, the Jets, and the Falcons. I believe the top 3 picks. So I would surmise that those 3 teams are going to draft 3 quarterbacks. So that could be, Lawrence and then Fields or Wilson in the top 3. So I don't think I don't think those teams would trade out. I mean, I don't think the Falcons would trade out of the top 3 pick because if I were them, at least I would want to find my successor to Matt Ryan. And you have a top 3 pick. Those don't come around too often. At least you definitely don't want them to come around too often because you want to be a good team, obviously. So yeah, I don't see those 3 teams trading out their pick. Looks like Mark Jackson says it's true that Pats want Jimmy G trade talk. Yeah, I've heard about that. But the Pats, they just re-signed Cam Newton, so I would be surprised. And I also heard that a potential trade between Niners and Pats is Jimmy G going to the Patriots for the corner Stephon Gilmore. I heard about that. I mean, that would be intriguing. I'm not sure. I don't know. I wouldn't do it if I was the Niners. No, I wouldn't do it. But that is an interesting trade because we could upgrade at corner, but then we would have a hole at the quarterback position. So, yeah. Let's see. Looks like Redder says other than the cornerback. I believe you're referring to the draft. So, let's see. In the draft, our biggest needs, corner. I still think we should get an interior offensive lineman to back up Brunskill and also maybe somebody who plays center because Mack, he's on a 3-year deal, but it's really only 1 year guaranteed. Excuse me. He's on a 3-year deal, but it's only 1 year guaranteed. So we should get interior offensive lineman. I believe we still should get a receiver, at least to bring into camp. I would say possibly a safety to compete with Marcel Harris if we don't get one in free agency. And I believe we should draft an edge rusher because that's what makes the defense, that's what makes everyone's job on defense easier when you have a consistent and effective pass rush. That's what led us to the Super Bowl, baby. Let's see. Noah, what's good, Noah? Thanks for coming through. Jackson can still run, but exactly, he can't stay healthy. Yeah, I mean, that's what sucks. Like, he can fly, but he can't stay healthy, and that's a major issue. We don't want to continue to bring in players who can't stay on the field, baby. So looks like Tommy says those Lambs. The Rams got talent. The Rams will be tough to beat. I believe they'll definitely be tougher to beat with Stafford than Goff. I think Stafford is an upgrade over Goff, and I'm looking forward to that matchup. Let's see. Looks like Brandon Ayuk probably misspelled, and Deebo Samuel goes South Carolina. Great. Yeah. Deebo and Ayuk are a good 1-2 punch. We just got to make sure, they stay healthy. So, Big Low Country Sports, what's good, man? Yeah, no problem, man. We got to do another show soon, maybe for the draft or something like that. We got to do a show. But yeah, man, thanks for coming through. Let's see. Tommy says Miami is at 3, ATL is at 4. So it's Jacksonville, Jets, Miami, and ATL. Yeah. Now, if the Niners were to move up, the team I would see most likely could be Miami because they got Tua. I'm not sure if they're sold on Tua. We'll see because maybe they could trade Tua just like the Cardinals did with Josh Rosen. They traded Rosen to get Kyler, so it's a possibility. But I want someone who's going to contribute day one in the first round of the draft. That's why I think we should get the best corner. So let's see. Looks like Tommy says, shoot, if we get Slater, we'd have the best O-line in the league. Yeah, I think Slater, I think he plays tackle. So then we'd have to get rid of McGlinchey. But I also heard that the Colts were rumored to be interested in McGlinchey as well. So that could be, a trade option. But we'll see what happens. Looks like Frank says, take care, guys. I'm out. Thanks for coming through, Frank. I appreciate you coming on the stream. And I appreciate all your comments, man. I appreciate you. Looks like Redder says, see you, Frank. All right. Well, I caught up with all the comments. You guys left a lot of comments. I appreciate you guys coming through on a Sunday, talking about the good old, you see it, red and gold, baby. And I believe I touched on everything I wanted to. Lynch, made some, great signings in free agency. He solidified the offensive line. As our offensive line stands now, we got Trent Williams at the left tackle spot. We got Tomlinson at the left guard, Mack at the center, right guard. We got Brunskill, and then right tackle we got McGlinchey. Yeah, I'm interested to see if McGlinchey will stick with the team for a few more years, because when you re-sign Trent Williams, you give him all that money. It doesn't leave a lot of money left on that offensive line. And I'm sure McGlinchey wants to get paid like a top 10 tackle, similar to what Trent got. Obviously not 20 mil a year, but he could be easily looking at 15 mil per year. And it looks like Niners all day. Do you think we trade McGlinchey to the Colts? Yeah, that would be an interesting trade option, because I did hear about that the Colts were interested in McGlinchey, but I guess it depends on what compensation they were offering. Like if they were offering a first-round pick for McGlinchey, I think the Niners should probably take that offer, because what are the odds of McGlinchey actually staying with the team, for years to come, now that we signed Trent? I mean, usually on a team, you don't sign two tackles left and right, big money. Usually that's pretty rare. You usually don't do that. So if it's for like a first round pick, I think the Niners should pull the trigger and get Slater, the right tackle, or get the next best tackle in the first round. And then you have Trent, and then you have the next best tackle on the right side for, years to come. So that'd be interesting to see what comes to fruition. So I appreciate everyone for coming through to the show. Looks like we already passed an hour. That flew by, man. I appreciate everyone coming on to the stream. Make sure, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to your boy, Jay in the Bay, on YouTube. And then also make sure you check out the IG. Check me out on Twitter. Everything's linked up below. But definitely thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate all the comments. Your boy is almost at 500 subscribers. Woo! Been a journey. We'll be only halfway to 1K. Go Niners. Y'all see it. They're red and gold. And I'm out. If you have any other comments, let me know. I'm getting ready to click off. If not, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. And of course, I'll still continue to make videos. And thanks for watching, everybody. Your boy, Jay in the Bay. I'm out.